everybody in our industry occasionally has to play softball, occasionally has to, look the other way a little bit. Everybody has to do it.
Wait, returning what? Like a movie
in
that's
the sense that,
or...
I hated a movie, but I won't say that I hated the movie, or an actor behaved a sort of way and you don't want to, put it out there that happened.
Right, because you might not get the next review,
right.
next
So
gig.
to some degree, everybody in our industry that is a part of this quote unquote access media has to sort of decide which battles they want to pick.
Ah yes, Rotten Tomatoes, a website that is famously renowned for being majorly disconnected from the audience when it comes to the authoritarian critics. And having someone from that website say that in public so many years ago, and very few, if any, publications picked up on it or wrote articles, goes to tell you that a lot of official publications do the same. Take into account this happened during Captain Marvel. And I think when he is referring to that an actor does something is when you notice that an actor is claiming they're getting harassment, but they're not showing any receipts, they're not showing any evidence. And no official critic ever asked these actors, why are you being antagonistic twats online? Why are you insulting the people that are supposed to pay you for the product? I've never heard that any official publication asked that question, and apparently now you know why. But something else happened a couple of days ago. As you can see, you have an activist complaining IGN reviews of Hogwarts Legacy is very weird because it reads like they wanted to give it a bad review, but they weren't allowed to. So, in other words, the people reviewing at IGN were very upset because Hogwarts Legacy is apparently hurting trans people by giving J.K. Rowling royalties. And you have a response from Message Gone Kelly. Video games aren't really my lane, but when I was reviewing comics for IGN about 10 years ago, we were in fact not really allowed to give bad reviews. So behold, the conspiracy. Everything that I've been talking on this channel turns out to be true. And it was painfully obvious since 2016 when you had all these major publications like Kotaku, IGN, constantly accusing Japanese video games of sexism, racism, but turning a blind eye when it was a Western game. And it was hilarious, in fact. Many people even showed that Anita Sarkeesian did the thing. Like, almost universally, all the games that she complained about, the overwhelming majority of them, Japanese games. And people started calling her a racist because she only didn't like Japanese games. But the reason that this person is talking about Hogwarts, I guess, is due to the controversy, because otherwise they wouldn't even talk about it. Like, I'm willing to bet if you talk about things like this in the open and you don't frame it correctly, you're not going to get another job in the industry again. But the reason he's basically saying it is like, normally the people at IGN would give a bad review to Hogwarts, because of course they're giving money to J.K. Rowling. However, they're not allowed by their editors. They're not allowed by the big corporation. You know what's interesting? And this is a point that I haven't seen anyone raise before. So all these people do not like J.K. Rowling because of her stance on transgender people, right? Like, besides that, she is the most progressive person you can imagine. Like, she is a third-wave feminist. I'm willing to bet she's for censorship and deplatforming bigots and all of that. But when it comes to the trans issue, she doesn't resonate with the ideology. Okay. So they don't like any type of royalties that go to her because of that. And they use Twitter in order to try to organize a boycott against her game and other people who play it. Twitter, yes, they use Twitter, which is owned by Elon Musk. And Elon Musk, do you know what he did with pronouns? He made fun of people using pronouns. Right? So Elon Musk is also transphobic, using the ideology of the blue-haired. Why are they using Twitter then? Why are they boycotting Twitter at all? I mean, the difference between Elon Musk and J.K. Rowling is that Elon Musk is probably less progressive than J.K. Rowling. And he also disparages pronouns and makes fun of people using them. So, isn't that interesting, right? Why are they boycotting Twitter? Come on, boycott Twitter. Boycott Twitter, I dare you, please, do this for me. Show a little bit of moral consistency, because when you're using Twitter, you're not paying money, unless you're buying the blue check mark, but I assume you're not. You are driving its analytics, you are driving its metadata. And the way Twitter buys ads is by showing, look how many people use our platform, look how much engagement we have. and this is the price you need to pay for the ad because this amount of people are going to see it. So you are technically giving money to Elon Musk. You are giving royalties to Elon Musk by using the platform. But for some reason, and by the way, it's not just that. Like they're fine with Legos, they're fine with movie theaters showing fantastical beasts and all of that. It's just specifically with this game. And this game has unhinged them so much that you have journalists talking about how at IGN years ago you weren't allowed to give bad reviews to comics. Which explains a lot, by the way. I mean, we've seen some really atrocious comics over the last couple of years, and none of them ever got a bad grade. Now, if you look at the audience score, absolute disaster. Like Goku and Vegeta, if they want to do battle and go somewhere empty, they go to where the audience for the comic books gathered. Like, there's no one there. They can battle safely. But for some reason, none of the official, publications like IGN, Kotaku ever give a bad review to these comic books. They complain more about Comicsgate, though. Like, with Comicsgate, oh, they're fine to rip and tear. But when it comes to DC and Marvel, not a single complaint. Nothing. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. And now we know why. So this was a very enlightening experience. Again, thank you, Hogwarts, which is the gift that keeps on giving. And by the way, if you want to know why this upsets me so much, is that back when I noticed this happening in 2014, 2016, I was very poor. I didn't have a job. I was a student. And the only money that I had was what my parents gave me. So when it came for entertainment, I didn't have that much money to spend. So I had to choose my entertainment wisely. If there were like 3 movies coming out in a month, I could only go to one of them. If there were 4 video games, I could only purchase one. So I had to be very careful with my purchases. And the way you could actually do that at the time was to read on Kotaku, read on IGN, and look at the score and see which game is better than another. Because back then you didn't have, you did have YouTube, but it wasn't as quote-unquote advanced as it is today. You didn't have Discord, you didn't have all these other means where you could interact with a large community to tell you if a game is good or not. So you had to rely on the reviewers. And as you can see, the reviewers were manipulating, they were lying, and it was people's money at stake. It's not the end of the world, it wasn't something that major, but given how stressful my life was at the time, entertainment was something important to me. I wanted to unwind and relax, and I remember what they did to me with the Gone Home, the walking simulator. It was a game that was priced at 10 out of 10, very expensive. I purchased it, turned out it was a complete walking simulator. So that was a horrible experience. But anyway, right, let me know what you guys think. And if you happen to like this channel, don't forget to throw in a super thanks. I would really appreciate that.